Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney and welcome back to another edition of Spin the Bottle TBR for the new year of January 2022. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope that your holiday season was absolutely fabulous, and I wish you the best in this new year. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If this is the first Spin the Bottle TBR that you are landing on, I will leave the link down in the description for the whole playlist of all of the previous installments of this game. The video from January 2021 goes through kind of the whole board and describes what each space means and some of the basic rules. Since that video, some of the original rules have changed, but I will explain them again, don't you worry. But since it is a fresh start, a new year, all of our tallies have gone down to 0. If you are unfamiliar with the tallies, it is every single time that I land on a single color or a space on the board, I keep a tally in my bullet journal. And every 5 times that I land on that color or space, then I will have to add another spin at the end of the game. So this first month, we should be in the clear, unless we actually land on the +1 bottle that is a space on the board, which means you have to add another spin at the end of the game anyways. But here's to good vibes and not landing on that space. Another thing we do at the beginning of every single Spin the Bottle TBR is we go through the last month's Spin the Bottle TBR and see how we did. And depending on if I completed the TBR or not, I will get a punishment or a reward. Now, since it is the beginning of a new year, I refuse to take a punishment. I want to start this year off on good vibes and just let go. Just let go of what happened in December because it wasn't great. Ultimately, I 100% did not finish the TBR. I have not even completed like a fourth of it. December has been a busy month for me. It is December 18th while I'm filming this because I start my new job tomorrow and then it's Christmas and then it's New Year. And I will have no other time to film this video except for right now, which is totally fine, but I do know for a fact that I wouldn't finish the TBR regardless. However, like previously mentioned, we're going into this new year with good vibes. So therefore, I'm not taking a punishment into the new year of 2022 because that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish. So we're starting fresh and we're feeling great about it. And that being said, we can get right on into the first spin, which will be my Patreon only spin, which contains prompts submitted to me from my patrons. After that, we will mix them all together and continue the spins. So let's go on to spin number 1. Okay, so spin number 1, we got read a book with an animal on the cover, but the animal cannot be the typical dog, cat, or bird. I actually had a lot of trouble picking this one. I almost came back downstairs with Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. Then I quickly realized, isn't a crane a bird? Yes, Sydney, yes it is. So I had to go back to the drawing board. But friends, I think it's time. I think it's time that I read this book. And I know quite a few of you are going to be very excited. And I think that I'm ready. The book that I'm choosing for this prompt has a snake on the cover. And it is also by one of my favorite authors ever. Can you guess what it is? It's Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I know, right? Here we go. It's happening. This book definitely has a lot of trigger warnings, which is why I haven't picked it up yet. But I think that I'm in a place where I am okay. You know, I think that I can handle it, is my point. But I love that for me, for waiting until I thought I was ready, you know? That's called self-care. That's called self-awareness. And we're trying to practice it more often. But it's time. I'm ready for it, and we are going to read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo for this first spin. So this book follows our main character, Alex Stern, I believe, and she was a sole survivor of like a brutal homicide that occurred. And while she's in the hospital, she gets visited by these people offering her this like full ride scholarship, I think, to like a prestigious university. And she's kind of confused, like we don't know why they chose her. We don't really know what's happening. And it says, still searching for answers, Alex arrives in New Haven, tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies. Their 8 windowless tombs are well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politicians to Wall Street's biggest players. But their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I think that I'll really like it, and I'm so ready for the journey. So I'm very excited. I think I'm gonna love it. But expectations, it's casual. It's casual. And let's go on to spin number 2. So spin number 2, we landed on the tarot space, which is always super fun. It's never known what's gonna happen. So I have my tarot deck, which I have taken out all of the major arcana, and I have a predetermined prompt for every single one of these cards. So basically, I'm just going to shuffle these up. The last 2 times that I've done this, I've gotten the same card each time, so I really hope that it's a different card this time. And let us do one final little thing. And it's different. Okay, it's different. The tarot card that we got was Changing. Let's see what prompt that I have already predetermined for this one. The prompt that I have for Changing is, it's kind of similar to what the picture of the tarot card is. It's like a seasonal read. Read a book that takes place with changing seasons and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, by the time that this is airing, there might be snow on the ground. But right now, we're still kind of very much in the end stages of fall. So I'm gonna lean on the fall side, you know, with like changing leaves and stuff, because we're still having that where I live. And therefore, my choice is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. I'm very much in a witchy vibe lately. Ever since I read The Once and Future Witches, I want all of the witch literature. So, I mean, this looks like, oh, and this book literally has, wow, stunning. This book literally has to do with the seasons changing. Like, let me just tell you what it's about. This is perfect, even more so. It says, for centuries, witches have maintained the climate, their power peaking in the season of their birth, but their control is faltering as the atmosphere becomes more erratic. All hope lies with Clara, whose rare magic is tied to every season. In autumn, Clara wants nothing to do with her power. It's wild and volatile, and the price of her magic, losing the one she loves, is too high, despite the need to control the increasingly dangerous weather. In winter, the world is on the precipice of disaster. Fires burn, storms rage, and Clara finally accepts that she's the only one who can make a difference. In spring, she falls for Sang, the witch training her. As her magic grows, so do her feelings for him, until she's terrified Sang will be the next one she loses. In summer, Clara must choose between her power and her happiness, her duty and the people she loves, before she loses everything. I'm really excited about it. I've heard some mixed reviews about the book, so I'm going to kind of keep my expectations at like a mid-range because I'm along for the vibes and it feels like the atmosphere might be there for this book, so I'm excited. And this is book number 2 on my January TBR. So let's go on to spin number 3. Spin number 3 was A Secret Space. So if you remember what this means, it means that I don't get to tell you what I choose. This book is going towards a secret TBR, and that's all that I can tell you. So let's go on to spin number 4. Spin number 4, we got a tarot space again. I'm not mad about it. Let's do it again. I am going to leave Changing out so that I don't pick it again, but I have all of the rest of the cards in the same pile. So let us shuffle them up, put some good intentions into them, and then do one more. And we are doing Self-Sacrifice, which is like the Hanged Man. This is perfect. Oh my god, stunning, incredible, show-stopping. This prompt for Hanged Man is start a new series. So the reading of this card is like losing something familiar to gain a richer understanding and a new start. So I took that to be start a new series, which this is absolutely phenomenal. So this month I had to pick this book up anyways because not only am I starting a read along with this series on my Patreon book club, but also I was asked by Mel over at Mel Reads to be a part of the live show for the public readathon that she's doing for Jade City by Fonda Lee. Wow, this couldn't have worked out better. That's incredible. So I'll be on that live show with Mel, Gavin, and Rachel, I think. So it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of us have very strong opinions. It should be a fun one. So if you are wanting to read along Jade City, check out Mel's announcement video, as well as if you wanted to check out my Patreon, the link for that is down below as well. We have a Discord that we will be chatting about the series as we read along, and it should be a lot of fun. So this is the book that I'm choosing for my 4th spin, and I'm so excited. This is a trilogy that is ruining everyone's lives, and I cannot wait to be ruined. This is basically like a Hong Kong gangster film, but takes place in a fantasy metropolis so gritty and well imagined that you'll forget you're reading a book, and I'm obsessed. It says, for centuries, honorable greenbone warriors have used magical jade to enhance their abilities and defend the island of Kikon from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation vies for control of Kikon's bustling capital city. 4 siblings of the powerful Call family must prepare for battle, and the fragile peace between the clans is about to break. I'm so stoked. I'm amazed whenever my board actually loves me. I'm not used to this feeling. The power of tarot, man. If you don't believe in it, you better start. Anyways, let's go on to spin number 5, which hopefully is our last spin. Okay, so I got a nightmare prompt, but some of the nightmare prompts that I've put in my nightmare prompts were meant to be like a little bit funny, because obviously read a book with deckled edges isn't like a super scary prompt or like a bad one, but like I personally don't really like deckled edges. Reading a book with deckled edges is far less satisfying than reading a clean cut book, in my opinion. It's harder to turn the pages sometimes with deckled edges. So that's the prompt I got, and I'm excited about it because I already know what book I'm gonna get, or choose, the book I'm gonna choose. I don't have many books with deckled edges because I don't choose them. But over on my Patreon, we did a Secret Santa this year, and my Secret Santa got me another book by one of my favorite authors, and I think all of her books are deckled edges. So like, I'm excited to read the book, but since it has deckled edges, it fits for this nightmare prompt, so cheating the system. The book is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. Again, I read and loved The Once and Future Witches, so I'm really hoping that I love the atmosphere that she creates for this one as well. The cover is absolutely stunning. I don't really know much about it, so let's figure out what it's about together. It says, in a sprawling mansion filled with peculiar treasures, January Scholar is a curiosity herself. As the ward of the wealthy Mr. Locke, she feels little different from the artifacts that decorate the halls, carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. Then she finds a strange book, a book that carries the scent of other worlds, and tells a tale of secret doors, of love, adventure, and danger. Each page turn reveals impossible truths about the world, and January discovers a story increasingly entwined with her own. Oh, and this was Alex E. Harrow's debut novel, so that's really cool. Aw, I'm excited. I didn't know that this was the first novel that she ever wrote, so I think it sounds interesting, and if she brings the atmosphere that I loved so much in Once and Future Witches, then I think that we're in good shape. So this is the final book on the January TBR. Wow, this looks beautiful. Let me get it. Look at it. It's so cute. Obviously, this is the secret book so that you don't know what it is, but this is a pretty little stack. I'm really into this, and this was very quick. This was amazing. Good work, everyone. We did great. But okay, wow, this looks beautiful. That's it. I'm used to these being longer, so that's all I have for you today. If you are still watching, then leave the snake emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.